he's dangerous. He's got dynamite in both fists.
This is a big fight for boxing fans all around the world.
How to exploit Joe's weaknesses and recognise his strengths.
Frank Warren suggested that the winner of this fight will go on.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to this final press conference as we get set for, at last, a great night of championship boxing this Saturday at Church House, Westminster. It's brought to you by Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren, who is celebrating an incredible 40 years in the sport of professional boxing. Along with their great sponsors, 32 Red, Foot Asylum, and Unibet. This great event will be televised live on BT Sport and in the United States on ESPN Plus beginning at 7:30 p.m. London time. Well, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you our undefeated main event participants. They will be competing this Saturday night in a scheduled 12-round heavyweight championship contest. First, we will welcome from Putney, London, undefeated with 11 wins, 10 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. Here is Joe, the Juggernaut Joyce. And now we welcome from Greenwich, London, undefeated with 15 wins, 14 of his 15 wins come by way of knockout. Here is Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois. And now I hand things over to the host of today's press conference, Mr. John Rowling.
Thank you, Thomas, and welcome all of you here today, and also to those of you watching on television, online, or wherever you're getting a view of this. And we're, of course, looking forward to this massively as one of the best heavyweight fights of the year, one of the most eagerly anticipated heavyweight showdowns, certainly an all-domestic heavyweight showdown, one of the most eagerly anticipated that I can ever remember. Well, you've heard Frank Warren being introduced, coming up now 40 years as a promoter. And Frank, this one must make you feel very excited indeed.
It does, you know, as you say, 40 years, and this is 3 days away from Saturday from the anniversary. It was 1st of December in 1980. And here we have like the most mouth-watering fight. It's going to be phenomenal between these two guys, and I'm so looking forward to it.
Just put it into words, what makes this so special for you?
Look, first of all, I'm a fight fan. So what makes it special for me, you've got two tremendous heavyweights. Both of them have done everything that's been asked of them as a pro up to as yet. It's very unusual at this stage of fighters' careers, as young, as having starting their journeys, they get it together. Normally, you always move heavyweights to build them up into a position where they get towards fighting for the world title. It very rarely happens that they actually do fight each other. And then you've got to take your hat off to both of them, because when this fight was put out by the board, neither of them would take a backward step. No one said, you know what, I'll leave this, I'll wait until fight for the European or fight for the titles later. They both said, no, I'm not getting out of it. And when you think about that, that's about their tremendous self-belief. They both have the belief that they've got the beating of each other. And that, for me, is exciting. You know, you look at this, no giving in either of them. You see both of them, they've both got this confidence about each other. And I think that the fans are going to be in for something extra special. They can both punch. I think between them, only two of their opponents have gone the distance. The rest of them have all been dispatched. Joe's got tremendous amateur experience. He was a silver medalist, as we all know, in the Olympics. Was robbed, should have been a gold medalist. Commonwealth medalist. Baku, was it?
You name it, all of them.
He's won all those, so his experience is tremendous. And he's turned pro, obviously older, he's older than Daniel. But he brings all that to the table, he brings that experience. But then you've got this young man here who basically said, look, you know what, I'm going to turn over when I'm young, 18 years of age, turn professional. Why did he turn professional? Because that's what he wanted to be. He wanted to win the world title. And he wanted to do it at a young age. And he's been, he's dedicated his life, like Joe has, but he's dedicated his life to boxing. He lives boxing. He's done a tremendous job up to his yet. Only had 7 senior bouts as an amateur, and look what he's done as a pro. Every fight he's learning something. He's going through different. He's been picking up his experience. So on the day you're going to have all the experience and the talent and the punching power of Joe. We got the new kid on the block, the young, hungry lion who wants to get out there and show the world what he's got. He's a tremendous puncher. He's captured everybody's imagination. It's got the ingredients of an amazing, amazing fight. And I think that's what we're going to get.
I think it's always the test of a big fight when you get messages, whether it be texts, online or wherever, saying, what do you think? And this is one of those fights. Everybody has an opinion on it, how they think it's going to go. The bookies have got Daniel as the favourite, but many people who I would respect within the sport are thinking the other way, and that Daniel should be the favourite and that he's the one destined for victory. Well, you're going to be able to see it live on BT Sport on Saturday night. And I know you've spelled this out before, Frank, but please just tell it to people watching once more. This really is, for both of them, a fantastic gateway opportunity to possible world title action in 2021.
You've got the British, Commonwealth, European titles, you've got a WBC silver belt, and you've got the number 2 spot in the WBO. And the situation with the WBO is that Usyk is the mandatory to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is fighting in December 12th against Pulik. He comes through that, or Pulik wins, whoever wins that fight, they've got to make a decision whether they're going to defend against Usyk. If it's Anthony Joshua, does he want to defend his title or does he want to fight Tyson Fury? That's the choice he's going to make. But whatever happens, the winner of this fight is going to wind up as the new mandatory or fighting Usyk for the vacant title. So that's what you've got on the line. You've got that chance of fighting for a world title. That's where these guys want to be. That's what it's all about. And as I say, whoever comes through this fight, 2021 is going to be a massive year for them. Because whatever happens, if Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury get it on, they're going to be tied up for a couple of fights, fighting each other. But when all the dust settles with them, one of these is going to be fine.
Well, that's enough sort of building it up, if you like. Let's hear from the two men. Let's start with Joe, who I've said is named by the bookies as the 3-1 outsider for this. But he's got the amateur pedigree, and you hear Frank talking about just what's at stake. How are you feeling? Under pressure?
No, I'm not under pressure. I'm confident, quietly confident, and I'm ready to do the business on Saturday night. So the bookies have Daniel in a very good position. His odds aren't that great, so it looks like he's just going to wipe the floor with me. So he has all that pressure on him to deliver on the night, whereas I'm underdog and I'm coming to take him out.
Does it irritate you that some people have maybe written you off?
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't really care, to be honest.
You've got the fantastic amateur pedigree Frank was talking about. You've won medals all over the world, a glittering amateur career, which Daniel doesn't have. How much of a difference does that make in your favour?
It makes a difference because I've been there and I'm tested. There's no questions about my ability and my achievements, whereas Dubois hasn't really done anything in the senior amateurs, and he hasn't done anything quite yet in the pros. So I feel that I've achieved more in my fewer fights than he has. He's got 5 more fights, but I've had the much better tests, and there's, I've had the tests and the questions answered, so I'm in a place where I'm ready to go for that world title.
So you think you've, as a professional, fought at a higher level than he has?
I believe so.
Let's hear from Daniel then. You've got the bookies saying you're the big favourite. You certainly look relaxed around here this week when I've seen you. How are you feeling now?
Feeling confident. I've left no stone unturned in training, so I'm ready to rumble. I'm ready to go.
And you hear Joe talking about his extra amateur experience, been there, seen it, done it, been around the world.
Yeah.
Do you feel in any way intimidated by that?
No, not at all. It's a fight. He's never been in with a fight like me before, and now I feel I'm ready to go and accomplish what I need to do. It's my destiny, so I've got to win.
And what about his professional record? People like Stiver, like Jennings, who've been beaten and beaten well. Your best win, I presume you'd say, was Nathan Gorman.
Yeah, well, those guys, I'd say, you could make an argument they were old. They're past their prime a long time ago. So, it's not. I'm a different fighter altogether. I'm hungry, I'm young, and I'm ready to go.
What do you think is going to be the key in this fight?
Just putting what I've got to, good use. All my tools, all my strength, and my speed, and my youth and my power.
He has a great chin. I think everybody recognises that. Immensely strong, and he's going to, if you don't get him out of there, he's going to keep coming for 12 rounds. You ready for that?
Of course, I'm ready to go. 12 rounds, no problem.
Joe, the popular way of looking at this fight, people have said, how do you think it's going to go? And they're saying early blitz from Daniel, the further it goes, the more it becomes Joe's fight, because the experience, the strength, and the stamina will come to pay. Do you see it like that?
Yeah, I'll just have to see how it is on the night, but you can speculate and see how the fight's going to go. But I mean, yeah, on paper it will probably go that way.
Do you say, or do you recognise that he's the puncher?
Yeah, I've seen him knock out some guys, but I wouldn't. Do you think I wouldn't have knocked out those guys?
Well, I think I'd probably agree you would, yeah. If that's
so yeah, I have power in both hands, so I'm ready. I've got a good chin. My engine's good, and I'm ready to go 12 rounds if need be. But you don't get paid for overtime, so if I see that opportunity, I'll be punching him until he's down.
You hear that, Daniel? What's your reaction to that?
Bring it on. I'm ready for a hard, long fight, but a quick fight if it needs to be. I'm ready. I've got the power in both hands to take him out, and I'm just ready to go to work.
I was talking to Martin, your trainer, and he was quoting, and I've heard other people quoting, the old line which Dean Powell, the lovely matchmaker who used to work with Frank, came out with about mighty oak trees. And he said, no matter how big the oak tree, you keep going away at it, eventually it will fall. Is that the way you see it?
Yeah, probably chop him down and break him down and bring all what I got and just use that against him and break him down if I have to.
What do you think happens if he hits you with his best shot, you take it, dust yourself down, don't go down, and he realises that the power isn't going to put you down? What do you think happens then?
Well, then he's in a whole heap of trouble. I've taken big punches and kept on going forward, and I'm not afraid of that. But that is not my mentality going in there. I prefer not to take them big shots. I prefer to move out of the way and not get hit and not get hit.
Is that going to be the key? I mean, looking at you, you've clearly lost a bit of timber, and you're looking in great shape compared with your last appearance in the ring. Is speed going to be a key?
Well, I'm not, as a lot of people say, I'm not blessed with speed, but I hit the target, so that's the main thing.
And you keep coming.
And I keep coming, yeah.
But you talk like Daniel's a one-trick pony. All it is a big punch.
Well,
He's got a great jab. He went into the fight with Nathan Gorman. where it was the same dialogue, wasn't it? After 4 rounds, Nathan's boxing ability will take over and do the thing. He outboxed him. You know, Nathan is a decent, good fighter, and I'm sure he's going to come. He will come again, and I'm sure he's going to win some titles. But he outboxed him. His jab was superb. Now, that's the point I'm making. Every fight, he brings something else. He's learning, and Joe's going to bring the best out of him. That's why I think you're going to see such a phenomenal fight. And again, it's not about one punch. You know, if you say if Joe gets caught and he takes that punch, it's not just one punch you've got to take, is it? It's many. And the same goes for Daniel. If Daniel gets clipped, he's been clipped by a couple of guys in fights early on, which is what I like about him. And took the punches and took the shots. But it's a very intriguing fight. Absolutely. Very, very intriguing. But you know, at the end of the day, I think you will see whoever controls this fight from the beginning will be the winner. That's how I see it.
That was going to be my next question to you, actually, Daniel. Do you think people are underestimating your boxing ability because you've made such remarkable strides in the relatively short time that you've been a professional?
Well, I know how to box. What people have seen so far, they haven't seen the best of me yet. I'm pretty sure this fight will show something else, what I can do, and I'm looking forward to showing, you know, all my whole repertoire of punches and skill.
And you'll have had some quality sparring, no doubt, in the run-up to this.
Of course, I've got, you know, good people, you know, Martin sorts out the sparring and everything, so we're 100% there.
Now, you both, I know Frank's doing down the power punching, but you've got this amazing knockout record. Joe, as well, has the great stoppage record. Do you think, Daniel, that this is going to be another KO? Do you think you will get to? Do you think this will be stopping inside the distance?
Definitely, I want to win in devastating fashion, cause a knockout, and you know, that's the best way to win for me, and you know, that's what I'm going for.
And you're wanting to send out a message, maybe, in doing that?
A clear message, you know, to the rest of the fighters in the division, and you know, all around the world that I'm coming.
You win this, you ready for Usyk and bigger things next year?
That's another story, but yeah, definitely.
Let's get this one out of the way.
Absolutely.
For both of them, this is the moment, big moment in time for both of them. This is it. This is what it's all about. You know, the winner of this next year, they're going to be in the big time.
Joe, stoppage win?
Definitely, yeah. I don't want to leave it to chance. I just want to get the job done, and you don't get paid for overtime, so I just want to go to work and find my range and just knock him out.
Now, traditionally on these occasions, you kind of like to give messages to each other. You've got him there just a few yards away. Maybe on fight nights, you're not going to have the opportunity to say exactly what's going to happen. You're going to be proving it with your fists, but you're not going to be able to say it verbally. Here you are, face to face. What can he expect?
I haven't really got anything to say to him. I just think he should respect his elders, and he will do on the night.
We'll see about that. We'll see. Bring it on, Joe.
Daniel, any message for Joe?
No, I'm 100% prepared. As I said, I've turned, you know, no stone left unturned. I'm ready to go, ready for war.
This is one of the great heavyweight confrontations, Frank. I can't wait. I just think as a fight, it can't fail. It's got every possible attribute as a sale. It's free by subscription to everybody watching on BT. And it really is, whatever you do on Saturday, for goodness sake, don't miss this on Saturday evening.
No, you've got to watch this one. This is, if you're going to watch any fight this year, or in the next 12 months, this is the one to watch. This is the heavyweight division at its best. This will be great.
I think it's going to be a very special occasion. You're going to be able to watch with us on BT Sport on Saturday night. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to them both today. I'm sure there'll be more messages coming out online from both camps and more interviews to come. Weigh in tomorrow, and then the big fight at Church Hall in Westminster on Saturday night. I can't wait. Thank you very much for joining us.